So let's see, that is the ossification of the scapula. So the scapula, it should be ossify from the one primary center and the 7 secondary center. So primary center, that should be appear near to that the glenoid cavity during the 8th week of the intrauterine life or the development. Then the 7 center out of the first secondary center, that should be appear in the middle of the coracoid process. So here during the first year and fuses to it by the 15th year. Then the subcoracoid center appears in the root of the coracoid process here during the 10th year and fuses the 16th to 18th year. Then the other centers including the 2 for the acromion process. So here that is for the acromion process, 1 for the 2/3 of the margin of the glenoid cavity, here 1 for that is the medial border, so this one, and 1 for the inferior angle, so this one. It appears at the puberty and fuses by the 25th year. So that is the ossification of the scapula. Then let's see, that is the attachment. So that is the subscapularis muscle, it should be arises from the submedial 2/3 of the subscapular fossa. So here you can see. Then on the dorsal surface here, that is the supraspinatus muscle, this one, it should be arises from the medial 2/3 of the supraspinatus fossa. Then the infraspinatus muscle, this one, it should be arises from the medial 2/3 of the infraspinatus fossa, including that is the spine of the scapula. Then the deltoid, so this one, so the deltoid arises from the lower border of the crest of the spine. So this one, here you can see, that is the deltoid. Then the trapezius, it should be inserted to the upper border of the crest of the spine. So here that is the blue line is seen. So that is the insertion of the trapezius. Then on the costal surface and on the medial border, so there is the insertion of the serratus anterior, including that is the inferior angle, and also that is the here from the superior angle to that the root of spine, and then medial border and the inferior angle. Then the long head of the bicep brachii, so here, so it should be originate from the supraglenoid tubercle. So the tubercle which is present on the glenoid cavity, that is called the supraglenoid tubercle, and the short head of the bicep brachii, it should be originate from here, that is the tip of the coracoid process. Then the coracobrachialis, it should be arises from the tip of same, that is the coracoid process, this one. Then the pectoralis major, so this one, sorry, the pectoralis minor, it is inserted on the medial border of the superior surface of the coracoid process, so this one. Then the long head of the tricep, so here it should be arises from the infraglenoid tubercle, so this one. Then the teres minor, it should be arises from the upper 2/3 of the rough strip on the dorsal surface along that the lateral border. So here, so on the dorsal surface and on the lateral border, there is the origin of the teres minor muscle. Then the teres major, so the teres major, that should be present the lower 1/3 of the lateral border of the scapula on the dorsal aspect. Then the levator scapulae, so levator scapulae, it should be inserted on the dorsal aspect of the medial border on the superior angle of the scapula. Then the rhomboides minor, so this one, sorry, rhomboides minor, So it should be inserted on the medial border on the dorsal surface opposite to the root of the spine. Then the rhomboidus major, so this one here. So it should be inserted into the medial border on the dorsal aspect between the root of spine and the inferior angle. So that is the rhomboidus major. Then the inferior belly of the omohyoid, it should be arises from the upper border near the supraglenoid notch. Here you can see that is the supraglenoid notch, and here that is the inferior belly of omohyoid, that should be arises this one. Then let's see that is the ligament related with the scapula. So the peripheral part or the periphery of the glenoid cavity, it is attached to the capsular ligament of the shoulder joint, means that is the glenoid labrum, it is attached to this side. After then let's see that is the capsular ligament of the acromioclavicular joint. So here, so it is attached to the margin of the facet present on the medial aspect of the acromion process. So here. Then the coracoacromial ligament, so this one green color here you can see. So that should be attached to the lateral border of coracoid process and the medial side of the acromion process. So this one. Then the coracohumeral ligament. So here it is attached to the root of the coracoid process. So here. Then the coracoclavicular ligament. So this one. So it is attached to the coracoid process and the trapezoid and the conoid part of the clavicle. Then the supraclavicular ligament or the suprascapular ligament. So this one. It bridges across the suprascapular notch and the spinoglenoid ligament. So spinoglenoid ligament, that should be covered, that or the bridges the spinoglenoid notch, and the suprascapular vessel and the nerve passes through it. So these are the ligaments which is related to that the scapula. So the first clinical point, that is the tip of the coracoid process can be palpated 2.5 cm below to the junction of the lateral 1/4 and the medial 3/4 of the clavicle. So here that is the tip of the acromion process can be palpated. Then next to it, that is the winging of scapula. So for this, here you can see that is the paralysis of the serratus anterior. It can causes the winging of scapula. So in this condition, that is the medial border of the scapula, it is unduly prominent and patient is unable to abduct the arm beyond the 90 degree. So here you can see that is the right side of the winging of scapula, that should be occurs due to the paralysis of the serratus anterior. So these are the clinical point which is related with the scapula.